What is up, Defects? Matt Forge here for another solo video, but don't worry, the Butcher 105 is going to be back with me next week. But something important happened in the comic book community, specifically the comic book market, that we had to discuss this week. Just last night, Ultimate Fallout 4, the 1 in 25 Jurjervik variant, sold for an astonishing price that was well off the highs. Those of you that don't know, Ultimate Fallout 4 is the first appearance of Miles Morales. And again, this sale occurred on October 24th. I'm doing this video the day after of 2023. So before I get into the details, I mean, this book was supposed to be immune to the massive losses we've seen in the comic book market. We saw plenty of sales of this book over $40,000. The high of this book, okay, was $43,200 back in January of this year, 2023. That is an astonishing number. It sold on Heritage Auction. We've had 3 sales over $40,000 on this book. We've had 10 sales of $25,000 or more. Again, people consider this a modern grail. People thought this book would not take a dive with the rest of the market. There was conversations back and forth in the community about this book and whether it should be at the prices that we were seeing over this whole entire year, while the rest of the comic market has clearly been in correction mode. Starting back in 2018, 2019, this was a $2,000 book. It went from 2 to 4, then 4 to 8, and the jump was from 8 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 30, and then that last jump of 30 to 40 and everything in between, guys. It's amazing. I'm kind of shocked the heights that it reached. And it's kind of eye-opening, the price that it hit now. I don't know. I don't want to say surprising, because I'm sure a lot of people in the comments are going to say that they believe that this is where this book should be, or even lower, or they saw this happening. But it is still absolutely eye-opening to see a book that was selling for $43,000 plus in January, 10 months later, hit a price of $16,550. That is almost a third, a little bit more than a third off of the high price of $43,200. It is amazing. That's kind of the headline that the community is kind of trying to, wrestle with right now.
Looking to clean and press your books before submission? Well, look no further than the best in the business, Erod 212 with Express Comic Book Pressing Service. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. Erod will submit your books to CGC and CBCS and pass along his discount. Hit him up on Instagram or email expresscbp@yahoo.com.
So again, guys, this is like a little mini market watch. We'll do our full market watch probably in a week or two, but this was too good to talk about. This was too good to pass up, because it's an eye-opening drop. Okay. The rest of the comic market has come down, in some cases 50% or more, but this has dropped especially hard. This is the lowest sale since March of 2021. And everybody remembers March of 2021 being that month that things really started to jump off in the comic book community, with keys, with the MCU and COVID, people being at home, hobbies, collectibles, comic industry specifically just went through the roof from that moment on. So again, this is the lowest sale since that marker, that March 2021 marker. A similar book that kind of goes hand in hand somewhat is The Edge of Spider-Verse 2, the Greg Land variant. That is the first appearance of Spider-Gwen. People kind of put these two books hand in hand. Clearly, the Miles Morales book was way higher in value, but that book has also been chopped down by a third, or actually even more than a third. So it's taken a little bit of a bigger hit. However, people were calling this the modern Grail. And maybe it is, but people calling it kind of correction proof, crash proof, immune to the dive that the comic market took, it clearly was not the case. All right. So I am very, very curious to see what is going to happen next, because we have 2 of these books up for sale currently, both on auction sites. One's on Comic Link and one is on Heritage Auction. I think both will be over in the next 24 or 25 days. The next 3 weeks, both will be done. So below in the comments, do you think these books will sell for more, less, or the same? I mean, I'm going to say that both sales will end up being less. And I don't mean by $20 or $50. I do think that you will see this book break into the $15,000 mark. I'm going to say, I'll just come up with a number right now. 15.3 will be my number.
You sure about that?
On those two sales,
sure about
average
that?
between the two. We'll see if I'm right. We'll come back and talk about this in about a month. But this is just astonishing to me. I mean, I feel extremely bad for the 10 people that bought this book for $25,000 plus. Could this book see heights again? I'm sure it will. I'm sure we're in a little bit of a lull. If Miles sees a live action, or if he takes over for Peter Parker in the MCU, this book could climb again for sure. 43,000 though, I don't know. I don't want to say never, but it's going to be hard to see it back around that price anytime in the near future. But flipping it on another side, as far as part of the comic book correction kind of process that's been happening over the past year, I think this is an important step. We have to get the inflated numbers down for all of these books to kind of get the prices for the entire market more stabilized. And I feel like we're getting very close to that point. And New York Comic Con was an indication of that, because I saw a lot of savvy comic buyers buying big books again, which tells me that people believe we are close to or at the bottom kind of of the correction, and prices are going to start to stabilize. I do believe we're pretty close to that. I don't know if we're right there, but like I said, this book coming back down to reality, $16,500 after a $43,000 sale less than a year ago, I think is a huge step to completing this correction process. Probably still got a little ways to go, but not too much. But I want to know your thoughts down below. Tell me in the comment section. Again, did you see this coming? Where do you expect it to be on these next two sales? Do you think it's going to go lower? Do you think it's going to go back up? Where do you see this book in 5 years? All right. So I'm going to probably wrap up the video here. Just a little short one today. All right, guys, that wraps up the video for today. Along with that, comment down below. Hit the thumbs up if you can. We're always putting out new content. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern time is our recorded videos. We're going to be doing the live shows again once a month. If you could subscribe if you're new, that'd be great. And if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when we're putting out new content. Also, guys, we're over on Whatnot Thursday nights, 9:45 Eastern. We'll be selling on there pretty much every week. And then once a month on the Defective Collective, our big event for the month, each and every month over on Very Gary's channel. So stay tuned for those announcements, because that's where we sell the big boy books. All right, until next time, catch you on the next video.